Hey guys, head coach Robert Gray back here at Victory Performance. We're going to go over our Thursday, March 26th home workout. Okay, so just like we've been saying over the past few days this week, before you start the programmed warm up, you should be going through some type of uh, uh, tissue prep or foam roll series. If you don't already have one that you like to use, we have videos up on our YouTube and on our Instagram TV that you guys can reference for a good, quick sequence of foam rolling before getting started on the warm up. So once you finish the foam roll, you'll go through these 7 warm-up exercises. These exercises are the same as last week, so this shouldn't be if you did last Thursday, this should be familiar. If you didn't, there'll be quick demos coming up later in the video for all 7 of those. After we finish the warm-up, we're going right into our conditioning. Okay, the conditioning this week has the same 3 exercises, but the format, the work and the rest times and the total rounds are all different. So this week we'll start. We'll do our first 20-second interval starting on reverse lunge thrusters, and then we'll go on the next interval right into the single arm swing, and then on the third interval right into the split stance single arm row. Now, as we do that first time through the first 3 exercises, we're going to do all of those movements on our right arm only. Okay, so the first round of the day will be done just on your right arm. Then after we complete the first round, then we'll do our second round on our left arm. Right, so each interval 20 seconds on, 20 seconds off for all 3 movements will be done on your left arm in that second round. Okay, and then we'll just keep switching back and forth each round until we complete 8 total rounds of the conditioning. So again, just to reiterate, we'll be doing 8 total rounds. 4 of those rounds will be all on the right arm, and 4 of those rounds will be all on the left arm. If you guys did this conditioning last week, you'll remember it gets pretty sweaty and pretty challenging pretty quickly. The big goal with conditioning workouts like this is, as we get more and more fatigued, can we resist that urge to kind of just blow through the movement, right? And forget what our core habits should be, right? Um, Bracing and breathing, finding stability. On that reverse lunge thruster at the top, you're going to be in a single leg stance with your arm pressed overhead. You should take a moment at the top of every rep to make sure you have balance, to make sure you have tension, not just getting to the position, but once you are there, are you in control? Are you stable? For our single arm swing, we won't have that moment of pausing at the top, at least not with the full swing action. But when you stand up on every rep, you should have that moment of feeling a rigid plank across the front half of your body, right? You should feel your abs, you should feel your quads really holding you in place, and you should also feel your glutes having just finished that violent hip extension. Okay, and then lastly, that split stance row. Yes, it's an upper body movement, but we talk about constantly at Victory Performance rethinking our upper body movements and considering them core exercises first. Then when we get to something where we're in a split stance and we're only rowing with one arm, I mean, it's just so much a core exercise. That's where we want our first kind of thought to be: is, am I braced? Am I setting a strong torso positioning? And then on top of that, can I execute with the proper shoulder mechanics that we constantly talk about when we're rowing or pressing? Making sure our shoulder blade is retracting on each row. Okay, so you'll see those kind of little technical things highlighted in the video or later in this video. Okay, so once you finish that conditioning, then we have iso hold finishers to end the training session. So same holds as we did last week. Again, just increasing our duration a little bit. So we have an iso single leg glute bridge. We're going 1:15 on each leg. If again, if during that single leg bridge you're feeling it more in your hamstrings than your glutes, then just transition right into a a two-legged bridge or a bilateral bridge, and you're just going to double the duration, right? So you'll be there for 2.5 minutes with both legs down rather than 1:15 on each leg. And then finishing with iso Y raises. Okay, so coming up, you guys are going to see demo videos of each of the drills in today's workout.
Okay guys, so we're ready to start our warm-up for today's conditioning workout. So we'll start with 30 high knees in place. For high knees, it's real simple. We're just like we're running in place. We're just trying to get our knees up to hip height. Okay, each knee will be 1, just going to 30, okay? And you can gradually increase the height of those knees across the 30 reps if you need to accommodate for how your joints are feeling this morning, okay? So after that, we're gonna go into split squat with a rotation. So split squats start in our half kneeling stance, right? So glutes are on, abs are on. Got my heel under my knee, straight line on this down leg, okay? Hands behind my head. We'll start with a split squat, up, down, and then rotating towards my front leg. That's 1 rep. Okay, I'm gonna do 5 with my left leg forward, switch, and complete 5 with my right leg forward. Okay. Remember, holding on to that brace the whole time, even in that T-spine rotation position. We want to feel our abs engaged and our glutes engaged, and syncing our breathing with that movement. Okay. After you complete the split squat with rotation, we're going to go into skips in place. Okay, so we'll do 30 of those. It's the same idea as the high knees. We're just kind of changing the rhythm up a little bit. Okay, so still 1, 2, 3, 4. Each knee is a rep. Still pulling the knees up to hip height, but again, just kind of changing that rhythm between each step. Okay, so after you complete the skips in place, we're going to go into a glute bridge plus shoulder flexion. Okay, so I'm laying on my back, as always with my glute bridge. I'm driving my ribs down, flattening out my low back on the ground. That should create some tension and some awareness around my abs. Okay. And then for this drill, we'll have our arms reaching straight to the ceiling. So I'm going to start with a glute bridge, squeezing my butt to lift my hips. Shoulder flexion, reaching back overhead, making sure my glutes stay on. That's 1. And we'll work our way to 10 reps. Okay, once you complete the glute bridge plus shoulder flexion for 10 reps, then we have jumping jacks for 30 reps. Remember, on these, we like to have big, long arms on these, okay? Really trying to get our shoulders to go through a big range of motion. And then we're landing relatively quickly, trying to change our feet in and out, right? Okay, so 30 reps. Once you've completed those, we're going into single leg T raises. So this is like a single leg RDL position. Standing on one leg, I'm gonna hinge forward. Okay, my hips and shoulders are square to the ground. And then from here, I'm doing a T raise, bringing my arms out into a T shape. Okay, the important thing here is that as those arms come out, your shoulder blades really are what's leading this movement. They're pinching together, like we're trying to touch our shoulder blades together behind our back, okay? So we'll do 5 on our left leg, switch, 5 on our right leg. And then the last part of the warm-up for today is a 30-second high plank. As always in our plank, we're squeezing our abs, glutes, and quads, and belly breathing, okay? The focus of this is trying to create total body tension for 30 seconds, okay? So feet together, shoulders are directly over your hands. And we're belly breathing, okay? So that is the end of the warm-up, and now we'll transition into the exercises for our conditioning for the day. So all we'll need for our conditioning is 1 dumbbell, okay, or 1 kettlebell or 1 weight. Now, if you have access to multiple weights, then you can get a bit more specific with each exercise in your weight selection, then that's totally fine, okay? But I'm gonna show you guys today's workout using just one weight. So if you did last Thursday's workout, this is the same 3 exercises. We're just going to change the format and the work and rest durations for today. So the first drill, or the first exercise, is a reverse lunge thruster. So I'm going to hold the dumbbell at my right shoulder, and that means my right foot is going to step back first. Okay, so step back. In one motion, I'm standing up and driving the dumbbell or my weight up overhead. Okay, find control, and then come on back down and up. Okay, you have the option here, it's really based off of control, of stepping straight back into your lunge or stepping down and resetting between your reps. Okay, so at the end of my 20 seconds of work, I'll rest for 20, and then we'll transition into a single arm swing. So I just did my thrusters on my right arm, so now I'm going to do my swings with my right arm. Okay, so remember, a swing is a hinge pattern, so my hips are going back to initiate the movement. Okay, so hips are back, my chest is down over my feet. Okay, my swing. Okay, again, like we mentioned earlier, it's important at the top of that swing to really feel yourself being rigid in that moment where you're standing upright. Okay, we want to feel your abs, feel your quads, feel your glutes. A lot like our high plank a second ago, we want to create systemic tension in that top position. Okay, so after your 20 seconds of work on the single arm swing, the last movement of each round is a split stance row. So I did the first 2 exercises on my right arm for this round, so I'm going to finish the round with the split stance row on my right arm. So our setup is just like if we were going to do a split squat like we did in the warm-up earlier. The difference now is I'm going to take my torso, I'm going to hinge forward. Okay, so my chest is over my front foot, and now from here we're rowing. Like we mentioned earlier, try to consider this a core exercise first. Okay, keeping your abs engaged, resisting the rotation or excessive rotation through your spine and through your torso, as well as driving that shoulder blade back with each rep. So once you've completed a full round of all 3 exercises on your right arm, the second round through, you'll do all 3 of those exercises on your left arm. So reverse lunge thruster first, right, working for 20 seconds. Okay, then into your single arm swing for 20 seconds, and then finishing with your split stance row. Okay, so once you've completed the workout or the conditioning for today, you will have done 4 rounds on your right arm and 4 rounds on your left arm. After our conditioning, we have 2 iso hold finishers for the day. Okay, the first one is a single leg glute bridge. As always, if during the single leg glute bridge you notice your hamstrings more than your glutes, then we're going to go right to a bilateral or a 2-legged glute bridge. Okay. So set the ribs, set the low back up, and we're belly breathing. Okay, put as much attention and focus into your glutes and abs as you can throughout the duration of the hold, okay? And then the last iso hold for today is an iso Y raise, so we'll be in our hinge position, chest over our feet. My feet or my stance is underneath my hips. Okay, and then my shoulders are just reaching up, or excuse me, my arms are reaching up so that my upper body is making a big Y shape. Again, belly breathing for the duration of the hold. Trying to pull your belly button in on your exhale and then inflating your low back on the exhale. All right, guys, good luck with today's workout.